Matt. 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 How you doing, everybody? This is Bill.
And I'm Neil.
Welcome to Random Tangent. That's what it says behind me.
We've checked.
Nipples.
This week's episode, all about taking mistakes. No, making mistakes, right?
So this is the mistakes that have been seen and made in gaming over the years. I think
Let's start with the.
there's been a lot of mistakes in gaming.
Yeah, quite a few.
There's some
more severe than others.
Yeah.
Definitely.
somewhere it was just like
How did you even go down that path?
Peter Molyneux. Oh,
Let's start by asking you to
iPod.
please.
iPad, Apple.
I paid.
Yeah, I paid. I paid a lot of money for what? 2-year-old software, 2-year-old hardware.
Let's start by asking everyone to please like, subscribe.
That's all made by Samsung.
Share. Get off of Apple for 2 seconds so we can get that out.
I literally get off on Apple every night. That's what I
Just
think of
angry,
you!
Angry jerky
Oh.
jerk session.
Oh, those guys are fucking manimals.
Ferocious tug.
That's my stripper name, actually. And I think I just realized when I'm naming my... I'm changing my gamer tag tonight. Ferocious Tug.
Sounds like a monk, but like a monk you don't want fighting on your team.
Oh, so stupid.
Someone save the village. I'll save it. I'm Ferocious Tug. Somebody else.
Anybody else, please.
No, just kill us. Never mind. Not gonna owe one to Ferocious Tug.
Anyway.
Like, subscribe, share.
As always, love us.
Love us.
Please love us.
So,
That's bad.
since we are doing a mistake episode, I would actually like to go back to our music episode, the actual last one we recorded. Hope you liked our scraps episode for a week. But
That's what happens when everybody's doing this thing called working, because you people won't subscribe so we can do this for a living.
Actually, I found out even people that do it, they're not making money from YouTube. They're making money from merchandise. So let us know what you want to see in the shirts. You want to want to wear our faces on shirts, underwear, something.
My face on a thong. You pull it down, he's like...
I'm going to address the mistake I made in our last episode when I said that the classic song from John Cougar at the time, John Cougar Mellencamp, whichever the name he was going
Whatever.
with. Jack and Diane, I said that he had written that song about an interracial couple, and this record execs asked him to change it and make it not about that because they thought no one would buy it. And he said okay, but then didn't change anything. He just changed who was singing about it. That's actually not correct. I looked it up. There was a line. He did change one line in the song. He took out the line that identified Jackie is black. Changed it to Jackie gonna be a football star. Which makes me wonder why he didn't toe the line a little. Why didn't he go with Jackie gonna be a basketball star?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for these racist statements that have been made on this show at this time. Obviously, a black person could play in basketball or football. It's not like they do now or anything. And, you know...
I think it's your mind going a bit more.
You know, the grave's getting deep. Pretty soon we're going to have to start throwing dirt back on you.
Would you like a corn tortilla?
Fucking corn tortillas. You don't have a corn tortilla. You have yourself a flour tortilla.
Why can't you have corn one?
Because fuck corn, that's why.
I could go down that road today.
Nope. Can't preach the high road, then walk down the low. It's just...
Yes, there was a mistake made, and I will rectify it
That,
right
I
here.
have no clue what you're talking about. Because
It's a hot dog episode where you're describing the monstrosity of a hot dog you made.
the beaner dog?
And what? right, should we go to our actual episode?
I have no idea what we're doing anymore.
Mistakes in gaming.
This show,
Yeah, but
this particular
I
episode.
think the end picture is just gonna be our picture of us from our first episode. Like, here's a mistake.
This is where it started. Oops. So let's get to the first mistake. I think the first mistake we decided was going to be the.
Well, the mistake from Nintendo, which I think arguably you can say their biggest mistake was backing out of that deal with Sony to make the disc drive for the Super Nintendo.
Imagine knowing as a company, maybe not now, but back then, knowing as a company that you actually facilitated
Your own demise.
In gaming. Because if you think about it, at that time, they were gods.
That's what I'm going to say. I think they were a little full of themselves. They brought home gaming back with the regular Nintendo. They brought it back from the dead.
NES brought it back.
Then the Super Nintendo comes out, and they get this long, hard-fought battle with Sega, and they come out on top.
Yeah, but that
Two generations in a row.
But honestly, that hard-fought battle, I mean, at the end of the day, they still were making money. Sega just kind of stepped into the ring.
I'm saying, at the end of that, they were the winner. They came out of it. So they can be a little bit full of themselves. I can understand it. They thought they could do no wrong.
The Game Boy. Look at the Game Boy. They made handheld gaming a thing. Everybody else who tried to bring something out could not compete with the Game Boy. Nobody. There is not one handheld system that ever competed successfly with the Game Boy, period.
It wasn't replaced until they came out with the DS.
Yeah, literally. Nintendo had to replace its own shit.
So yeah, I think a little full of themselves at that point. So yeah, I can see why they would back out of the deal with Sony, and Sony's like, okay, we'll just make the PlayStation.
You want to go there and make that Panasonic thing? Yeah, good luck with that mess. That was a mistake.
No, we're actually going to talk about I'm going to say maybe the forgotten console, the Virtual Boy.
Oh, it ain't forgotten. It is still a joke.
That's I'm going to say the first mistake there is I'm not even sure if you refer to it as a console, because a console is something that you plug into a TV and you play it on the TV normally. The Virtual Boy is all self-contained, but I definitely wouldn't call it portable.
Yeah, it wasn't portable by any means.
Basically, it was a pair of goggles. They got at least the design right. It's pretty much the same thing you're looking at when you got them on.
But the problem with said goggles was it was mounted to a damn tripod
that you put on a table.
So when it's this high and you're like, for an hour or two playing the game, the controller was 2 D-pads and buttons.
But you put your face, smash your face into this. Hold your controller down here.
Which is could be the title of my book.
Smash your face. That sounds like your upcoming album. Smash your face into this.
I see.
Wasn't exactly console. Wasn't exactly definitely wasn't a mobile.
No, I don't know what you could call that thing.
When part of your thing, the designer thing, is having a chair and a table that are an adequate level to each other.
Could you call that a mobile console? Maybe
call it a pile of garbage.
Yeah. Now, what made this system really terrible was, for one, there was only, I believe, 8 titles produced.
22.
Was it 22?
22 games total.
Oh, no, it was, I believe it was 8 internal titles. Actual first party titles. And then the rest were all second party. That being said, none of them were good. The screen that you looked into was small.
It was supposed to represent 3D graphics. Supposed to be the first 3D graphics in gaming. It was red lines.
It was red and black.
Yeah.
It was monochromatic, except for the fact that instead of being gray, white and black and white, it ended up being red and black and hues thereof. And it was. I only ever played it once. And for the life of me, I swear I played it at your house.
No.
But it wasn't at your house. It was actually at one of my ex-girlfriends.
The only time I played it was like Toys R Us at a demo.
And that was enough.
Yeah. Like, okay, don't need to buy that. Thank
you. Now,
you.
because of the color scheme and the design of it and everything else, people were getting headaches.
Yeah.
People were throwing up. It was a terrible control scheme. The games were very...
It wasn't, like, at least with a Game Boy, like, your friend could play it and you'd be like, oh, that's cool. Like, this one,
you should see this! You're a dick, Bob.
Thanks for inviting me over, Bob. You asshole. I'll pet your cat some more. This is fucking fun.
No, that was usually throw the cat at him. Hey, you want that 3D experience? I'm chasing a cat. You about to be.
If the Virtual Boy is out today, there'd just be a bunch of YouTube videos of people fucking with people playing with the Virtual Boy. like someone's playing it and someone walks in with a big balloon and a needle.
System goes flying. You kind of, sort of, very vaguely, in a very minor fashion, could call it the slight sort of mild precursor to virtual reality that we have now.
Like I said, they got to the design of the goggles.
Yeah,
right?
the goggles. Imagine the goggles you have now with your Samsung VR or your Vive or your
$10
Oculus.
pair.
Even $10. No.
The thing you stick your phone into. And
Yeah. No, it's a little bit bigger and on a stand. You couldn't. These didn't actually fit on your head, and you could move. There was an idea. There was a design for that,
and it didn't work.
but they scrapped it because they were so heavy. They just dragged the thing down.
Well, the problem is during development, Nintendo kind of gave up on it. They're also moving in towards the 64 at this point, and after they got to a point with this thing, they were like, "Fuck it, just whatever we got, put it out there."
Put it out. We're good.
Let's
You know what?
move
Honestly, you know
resources.
what's funny about it? I can't even. If you asked me right now what the games look like, I know they were cartridge based, but I couldn't tell you the shape of it. I don't know.
No clue.
I remember the controller had palm handles like the Xbox, like the Xbox and the PlayStation. I know it had that, and it was black. And I know it was corded. That was the other weird thing too. But I guess back then that was nothing odd.
Yeah. Actually, only existed for a year, not even a full year.
Wasn't even a full year. No, they didn't even get a whole year on the shelves.
Yeah, it came out in '94,
and they actually
continued by
pulled
'96.
it.
Yeah,
it wasn't like they just stopped making it. Like they pulled it because it was doing so poorly. They were just tired of it.
I read it was the second lowest selling device for them, right behind the 64 disk drive, which I'm not even sure if that was everywhere. So
no, that was only in Japan. It was only released in Japan. They only made like 5 or 6 games for it, and it was actually really good. But I guess it was just I don't know. There's no real. There's some reasoning why it never made it to the U.S., but none of it was good.
All right. So moving on. When I first came up with the idea for this mistake episode, I suggested to Bill, and he immediately had one name for me. Right away. I can't pronounce it, but go ahead, have at it.
It's an Englishman. And he looks French, sounds French, but he is not French. Peter Molyneux, the man, the myth, the unfortunate legend.
Now, we're not saying he himself is a mistake. He has made several good games, several good companies, actually.
Yes, very. He headed Lionhead Studios.
Lionhead, which he came to after Bullfrog. The makers of Dungeon Keeper, Populous, Black and White.
Lionhead ended up creating a black. I think they made Black and White 2. I think he got the rights to it. But yeah, I mean, this man fronted a lot of studios, headed them, built them.
Very ambitious, which is kind of his downfall, and getting to what we're talking about, mistake-wise.
And the biggest mistake that he made here, and probably it wasn't so much a mistake in what was done, it was more of a mistake in what wasn't done. And what wasn't done was you cannot start a studio, create a game, and then be like, this game will be the greatest, it will do this, 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 and this, it'll be the most amazing, and then it comes out and it's like, there's nothing, none of this is here.
We are talking about the Fable debacle.
So with Fable, he created a game, promised the world, but did not deliver.
He delivered a few continents. Fable's a good game.
No, Fable's I will fight tooth and nail with anybody that argues that Fable's bad. Fable is a fantastically done, amazing RPG, and I am not an RPG
They
guy.
actually have named this, though, the Molyneux effect, is when you hype up your own game so much that it cannot meet those expectations, and then seems like a disappointment. Taken for what it is, Fable is a fantastic game.
At face value, amazing.
However, when you hear all the things that you thought it was going to be, what the fuck is this pile of shit?
It's like someone telling you I have this car and they describe a Porsche and it gets there and it's a Ford Escort. Like, okay. I mean, it's still a usable vehicle. There's nothing necessarily
you need to go.
It's nothing necessarily wrong with it.
It's got a CD changer in the back.
Yeah.
6
The downside to the whole Fable thing was basically by hyping up his game, he actually made his game worse.
Uh-huh.
Which
Well, I
sucked.
think one of the biggest mistakes, too, is that they let him do it again for Fable 2. This time we took it a bit more with a grain of salt, I gotta say. We're like, maybe.
Wait till you see what he can do. Mm-hmm. We turned into that sassy black woman you always see. Mm-hmm. What are we on now?
The first Fable, he made a promise about how you could plant a tree. And then sometime later, you'll come back and the tree will have grown and there'll be a new tree there. You could essentially do a whole forest. Not in the game. You get to Fable 2, though, and actually, at the end of one of the quests, you end up planting a tree in honor of someone who died, or something like that. I forget exactly how it goes, but something along those lines. And then, at another point in the game, there's a passage of time where you're being kept as a slave for some reason. And you come back to that village where you planted the tree, and the tree has grown to a full tree. So technically, yes, during the game, it went from a small tree to a big tree, but it's kind of a fuck you kind of sort of...
It really kind of is.
Here's your growing tree, you whiny motherfuckers.
And at the end of the day, when you think about it, I'm not even sure that counts.
No,
because that's a story plot line.
It did not progress in natural time. That tree will be a small tree up till you get to that point in the story, then come back to it. So,
Peter Molyneux, we love you, but shut up. And I think our next one, the big one,
probably the biggest mistake any game company can make.
The coup de grace, as it were.
And actually ties in a little bit with Peter Molyneux, because it happened to at least one of his companies, is when EA goes, hey, we'd like to buy your studio out. You make
I'm convinced EA doesn't even do that. I'm
convinced
EA, they just call you and go, by the way, we own you now.
They knock at the door, hand you a check, get the fuck out.
All of you, we own you. Also, you're fired.
Leave the computers on. We don't know your passcodes. So many good studios. Like I said, Bullfrog, which Populous, Black and White, Dungeon Keeper, bought by EA.
Dungeon Keeper
Shitty.
2.
Yeah, Dungeon Keeper 2. Never the Dungeon Keeper 3, though.
Which is funny, because if you play Dungeon Keeper 2, which I play good old games, so of course I played Dungeon Keeper 2, because it was bad. It was a shit. There's actually a little trailer video for the third one.
Yeah.
But it never came out, and that was upsetting.
The third one, you're supposed to be able to go over in the overworld. No. Eventually, what we got is a Dungeon Keeper mobile game that people just hated.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's like, in the original game, you go, okay, Imp, dig that spot. They go, done. Dig this spot, done.
Yeah, and this one's like, click. 4 hours later. Are you fucking kidding?
Or you could spend some money and hurry it up.
Wait a minute. Who made this? EA, son of a bitch!
Another one be Maxis, creators of...
Sim. Just Sim.
Sim anything. Do you remember how crazy that shit used to be? Sim Farm, Sim Copter, Sim
Is
Ant,
that Sim
Earth.
Taint? I don't even know what...
I mean, I'm gonna play it.
I'm curious how this one's gonna go. Sim Vagina. Get it.
Okay, Maxis, creator of so many great Sim games, Sim Farm, Sim Ant, Sim Taint. I don't know what he was playing.
Sim Butthole.
And eventually, The Sims. Great way to play God.
Also, a great way for EA to play God.
Uh-huh.
Here's the game. Here's all 487 expansions at $15 to $30 a piece.
What's this one got? 3 more couches.
This one's got 3 couches, and you get a dog. What's this next one got? 2 more couches and a sweater for your old dog.
This is all stuff from H&M. I've never even shopped there myself.
Halloween edition. Party pack.
Yeah. What else? Westwood Studios, Command and Conquer series. When's the last time you heard anything from them?
No. They literally walked in and went, nobody works here anymore. Bye.
Dice Games, creators of Battlefield, Mirror's Edge. The Battlefield just came out. Battlefield 1. Good game, but you're probably gonna... I forget exactly what they wanted money from you for in that game, but...
Everything.
No, okay, right. Do you want to survive in that tank?
The thing that irritates me most about the pay-to-play crap is mainly because, one, it's not fair. And in the grand spectrum, it's not fair. And two, if you want to lose me as a customer, put pay-to-play in.
Okay.
It's exactly why you'll never see me on a Call of Duty multiplayer, ever.
Sub-Zombies. One other studios. Actually, it's a pair of studios they got at the same time because they're both held by another company. They at the same time they swooped up Pandemic Studios and BioWare. No, Pandemic Studios ain't around no more. BioWare's still operating. But
What did Pandemic Studios make?
The biggest one I can remember is the Mercenaries game.
They made something after that, though. I was playing a game not that long ago, like a couple of weeks ago, and it came up Pandemic.
Well, the first Mercenaries, I love that one. Of all the GTA clones that were really popular back then, I think that's one of the better ones.
I don't know if I played that one.
Playground of Destruction, set in, I believe it's in North Korea. You had the deck of 52. You had to go on, find them all and capture them.
I don't remember that one.
One of my fondest memories of playing the game.
What was that on?
It's on the
360?
No, that's the original Xbox and PS2.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day.
We're going back.
I was playing a game, and my character was like surrounded, like a train station or something, and the enemies all around. And I'm in this little tunnel in the middle of the train station, and I know I'm gonna die. They're over there. They're over there. There's tanks driving around up there. There's helicopters.
What you tell me is you've accepted your fate.
Uh-huh. Well, one of the helicopters kind of swoops in low to get a shot at me. And it was really easier to hijack stuff. Basically, you ran out there and a little circle appeared. If you're in that circle, you press a button and you hijacked it. No little mini game to get it. One of these helicopters came in real low, and I ran out there. A little circle popped up, like, mine! Jumped in it, threw the pilot out, flew up a little bit, blew up some tanks, gone. Remember that to this day. My proudest things in gaming I've ever done. Mercenaries, fun game. Mercenaries 2, I think by that point, EA had them. Nowhere near as good. Too much in it. Mercenaries itself was very simple. Mercenaries 2, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Like, Jesus Christ, calm down!
I think the biggest problem with EA has...
They can do some good if they wanted to.
They can. But they're too fond of themselves. They love stroking themselves. Makes them feel good.
With as many studios that they've bought, they actually make quality games.
Mm-hmm.
They can just make a game and be like, here's a good game. Buy it, recoup the money, make a little bit more than what you spent on it. That's all you have to do. But they're like, but what if we kept charging them?
What if we made them pay to play the game after they bought the game? I mean, EA can basically, I mean, if they want to go ahead and just eat a whole bag of dicks, I would be perfectly happy with that.
Then for dessert, more dicks. Speaking of EA, kind of moves into our next topic, our next mistake. Our next mistake would be games that insist on having multiplayer when no multiplayer is needed. And EA has done this with some of their franchises, like Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Mass Effect, great single-player game. Until EA's like, put multiplayer in. Why? Because we can make more money.
What? You can charge them for loot boxes or something. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that too, and some of the other games that have fallen into that, I guess, would be that pothole of stupid is Titanfall and a few others where it's like, here's the campaign. Oh, perfect. Wait, this is just multiplayer, and you kind of threw a little writing in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Let's say Watch Dogs, if you remember that one. You're playing a single-player game, but all of a sudden, like you have to go fight some other person for reasons. I don't know.
They hacked you, and they're going to do this and this and this. I don't
want to do that. I just want to play this game.
And the worst part about that was, they'd hack you, and there was no way to find them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you did.
They show you where they were, like the end. Like, oh, he's hiding in a bush. Awesome. That's a great waste of 10, 20 minutes.
Wait, I ran past that ficus twice? Son of a bitch.
I say on the other side of the multiplayer, where no multiplayer should be, coin would be, is single player in a game that's... You got this? Single player in...
Too fast. Single player?
In a game that doesn't need it. Like, some games, they figured it out. They'll put on the box, or on the online description, this is a multiplayer game. You're gonna need a multiplayer connection of whatever subscription level you have to have for it, not single player. Some games do that. Mm-hmm. Other ones would be like, Yeah, there's single player too, and it's honestly just a tutorial.
Yeah.
Like once you're done with it, that's most simplest of things. Like, okay, now you know that. Now it's just multiplayer. Like,
Yep.
Don't bullshit us. Just
Well, I think they really shouldn't have. I mean, I the other thing too, what was it? Aliens, Colonial Marines suffered from this one bad.
okay.
Was they had one studio do the single player, one studio do the multiplayer. Neither one of them did it good, and it was just an all around awful game. I mean, it was like I was looking so forward to it, and then it came out and people were losing their shit.
I say that's another mistake you just brought up is trying to do too much at once, having too many teams working on too many things. And you know what's I think would really highlight that would be Assassin's Creed Rogue, released last generation.
Assassin's Creed, which one?
Rogue, which was released last generation. I think they come out with the remastered version now, which is not a bad game. It's a reskinned Black Flag, so if you like Black Flag, you'll like Rogue.
Yeah.
But it came out alongside Assassin's Creed Unity. Now, Rogue, like I said, it was Black Flag with different people, different models. Basically, they had the game, they just had to tweak a few things. Unity, they had to come up with a new game on new systems, and it's going to take a little bit longer. But they wanted those games out at the same time. Guess which one suffered for it?
Unity was so bad.
Unity is definitely a mistake.
All right, well, that'll be it for us this week, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and cut this one. We will see you next week, hopefully, if all goes well. As usual, like, subscribe, share, love us. And we will see you next week when we do our episode on, I don't know,
Something.
cutlery.
Think about maybe doing a trilogies that shouldn't be trilogies.
So, yeah,
Trilogies
stay tuned
you
for
can
that.
easily lose one of. Maybe a gaming logic episode.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah, you know what? I like that. Our next episode will be on gaming logic, or I guess the lack thereof. So everybody, go
I
ahead,
almost
like.
drowned. Better drink some water.
Everybody, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, love us. Comment in the comment below. Let us know what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you want to know.
Any topic whatsoever, we will try and make something with it. Come on, give us a challenge.
Anything at all.
I hate
Also,
my
on a side note, we should probably start reading those comments, really.
I hate my neighbor Stan. I'll tell you a whole bunch of Stans that suck.
Yeah. Stanley's a feeble old man that should be taken advantage of. Now I feel bad.
I saw a bunch of Polish guys with turbans on. I think they were Pakistanis.
I hate you. All right. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.
Loosen it.
No. That actually surprised me a little bit because you're like,
Strike the pose. In Vogue.